Man, the rise to fame with TikTok is no joke. One day, you make a video with Will Ferrell, and before you know it, you have your own musical movie on Apple TV+. Hollywood works real fast sometimes. Spirited stars Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It was directed by Sean Anders, and this film is a modern musical retelling of A Christmas Carol with Will Ferrell as the ghost of Christmas Present and Ryan Reynolds as the Scrooge-type character. I've always been a big fan of A Christmas Carol. I grew up watching the Mickey Mouse version, and every time I see a show or movie with a new twist on it, whether it be Muppets or being dark as hell, I'm always excited. Now, making it a musical starring two people that aren't known for starring in musicals certainly got my attention, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun I had with this. So, I guess the question a lot of people have about this film is, how is Ryan Reynolds' singing? We've gotten a lot of musicals lately with actors that are fine at singing, but it's always refreshing to see an actor you don't associate with singing turn in a really good performance, and thankfully, Reynolds is in this category. What could have ended up as a pretty bad miscast leads to one of the genuine surprise performances of the year. Reynolds has proven many times how not just funny he is, but how good of an actor he is, and to see him bring these skills to a musical was a genuine surprise. Every time he breaks into song and dance, you can see how much fun he's having, and it becomes infectious. I hope that after this, he pursues more musicals in the future because he's genuinely good. Will Ferrell is also a lot of fun here. He's proven how good of a singer he is, and it was a blast to watch him and Reynolds bounce off of each other and perform the musical numbers together. The two have great chemistry, and their arcs the characters go through leads to a lot of surprises and made me feel for their friendship because of how well the two work together. Being an adaptation of A Christmas Carol, there's story beats this film follows, but it takes its own path most of the time and really plays with the idea of the story. In this world, A Christmas Carol wasn't just a one-time thing. It happens every year, and Reynolds' character is this year's soul to save. But, because of how tight-assed he is, it becomes a much bigger challenge to change him by the end of the film. Not just that, but there's a lot that's spent focusing on Ferrell's ghost of Christmas past and his hopes, desires, and fears. It builds on the mythology of the story of A Christmas Carol and expands it in ways I wasn't expecting. By taking its own path, this film feels much more refreshing than if they had just told A Christmas Carol as a musical. Speaking of, can I just say how refreshing it is to see a musical with so much life and energy put into its song and musical numbers? Yes, we've gotten musicals recently with spectacular numbers, but with the constant loom of the Disney live-action remakes, I feel like I constantly have to remind people that those are not how musicals should be done. Every number in those films feels lifeless, dull, with no imagination or magic in the numbers. I don't know why they're like that, but I can't say it's because the directors have no idea how to make a musical, because Sean Anders has never made one before. Yeah, he mainly made traditional comedies before this, and yet, after seeing this, you'd believe he's been making musicals all his life. Every number has spectacular choreography and imaginative vision, fantastic camera work. No two numbers feel the same, and I was constantly excited to see what would come next. However, despite all the praise, there are a few problems with this film. While Reynolds' character is supposed to be an asinine dickhole, there are times when his bullshittery actions and dialogue can be a bit too much in the first half. By the second half it calms down, but it can get irritating in the beginning. But that's how it's supposed to be. It's a weird thing to say, but it's both a complaint and a compliment. I guess it's more of a warning than anything else. It works for the character, but I can understand if some people don't like it. Also, while the balance of the drama and comedy was mostly done well, there were a few parts that I feel like needed that extra push towards the dramatic in order for the moment to stick more. While it's not a major hindrance, it feels more just like a missed opportunity. Overall though, Spirited was a big surprise from beginning to end. Ferrell and Reynolds work great together, the song's musical numbers are fantastic, and it's a great twist on the Christmas Carol story. If you have Apple TV+, I highly recommend you seek this one out this holiday season. I'm going to give Spirited an 8 out of 10.